What's up, everyone? All right, so here we are, day 2 of the small account challenge. Now, today I'm up $12, and that's before commissions. So I'm actually down about $12 after commissions, which means it's my first red day, which is not great for day 2. It's not really what I wanted, but a small red day is not a big deal. And I have this rule right now: the second I go red, I'm done. I'm walking away. I am not gonna allow myself to have a day where I go a little red and try to get back to green and then just go deeper and deeper and deeper. Can't happen. I don't have a cushion. So the second I go red, hands off, I'm done. Today I was up about $75. I took 2 trades, 2 $35 winners roughly, and then I took a third trade and I lost 60 bucks on it. It was a full 20-cent stop on 300 shares, lost 60 bucks, and just like that I went from up 75 to up only $12 on the day, and then of course with commissions now down 12 to 15 on the day. Yesterday, being up about 140 after commissions, let's say for every $10, that's 1 step forward. So yesterday was 14 steps forward, which is awesome. Today is 2 steps back. I'm okay with that. That's a little pullback. I didn't want that for day 2, but I'm okay with it. The question always is, was I managing risk and was I following my rules? And the answer today is yes. I took a total of 3 trades, had 2 winners, which means right now on the challenge, I've taken 5 trades and had 4 winners, 1 loser. So, 80% accuracy right now, only 2 days in. Let's see how that looks, 3 or 4 days from now. The goal is just to continue to focus on A-quality setups. And if today's a day where I'm kind of grinding and I give back a little bit, 10, 15 bucks, it is what it is. I'll live to trade another day. You never want to empower one trade or one bad day to blow up your account. And so in a way, it's kind of nice just to have the first red day in this account behind me, under my belt, and now I can bounce back tomorrow and hopefully have a green day. I had someone in the chat room ask me this morning, he said, Ross, are you gonna change your strategy to try to accommodate this commission issue? Because typically with a large account, I would take a starter, and that would cost me 1 commission because I pressed the buy button once, and then I would add to the position, all right, on the confirmation. So now I've got 2 trades. And then on the breakout, I would sell half. And then if it continues higher, I would sell another half. And then I would sell the rest when I finally bail out. So for each single trade, essentially I'm taking 5 individual trades. 5 times 2 is $10, right? Now that's okay when I'm trading with 6,000 shares and I'm making $600 or $800 on a trade. But when I'm trading with only 200 shares, and I'm making only $40, that's still 10 bucks. And now that's 25% of the profit. So, that's kind of the question is, does it make sense to change the strategy? And what do you guys think? Feel free to comment below. My thought on it initially is that I don't want to change anything. The strategy that I use for getting in and out of stocks, it's proven profitable, even with a small account, because I've done it before. This is the same strategy I used when I took $583 and turned it into $1 million. So I don't really want to change anything. If I change something, then the metrics that I'm using to kind of feel confident in taking trades and pressing the buy and sell button, well, I don't know that they're valid because I've made a change to the strategy. You don't really want to make a change in production until you really know whether or not it's a profitable change or whatever. So I think for right now, I'm not going to change anything. Yes, yesterday, 10% of my profits went back to commission. Today, all of the profit I had, the little bit I had, went away to commissions. But as the account grows, commissions will become a smaller and smaller percentage. The most important thing is that I continue to focus on the strategy that is proven profitable. And so I think that's kind of my approach right now. So anyways, we'll break it all down here in day 2. The live recording for today's trades will be uploaded for students in the Warrior Pro classes. So those of you guys who are in the Warrior Pro classes, you can watch the live stream. It's about an hour long. I traded right from 9:30 all the way to about 10:30. Tomorrow and through the rest of the week, we'll see what I have for trades. If I have something that's like really, really awesome that I want to show you guys, maybe I'll put that down below in the description for YouTube. But for this one, this is gonna be for Warrior Pro students. All right, so as always, questions, comments, leave them below. Love the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, everyone, so we're gonna do our recap here. Today is gonna be day 2 of the small count challenge. And as you can see, I'm up $12.20, but that's before commission. And so after commissions today, I'm going to be down probably about $15. My commissions are $2 for every trade I take. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that's $24 in commissions. Plus I pay an ECN fee of 0.003 per share. And I traded 2,200 shares. So 2,200 times 0.003 is 660 plus 24. That's $30 in commissions minus $12.20 of profit. I'm gonna be down $18.40 today, which is kind of a bummer, but at the same time, that's fine from a risk management standpoint. I had 3 trades today, 2 winners and 1 loser, and I'll break down these trades for you. Of course, I recorded all of the trades from this morning, and so those of you guys who are Warrior Pro students, those are going to be uploaded so you guys can watch them later today. So this morning was kind of interesting because our gap scanner was a little on the light side. DLPN, leading gapper, but too cheap. EDNT, one of the top gappers, but the chart, not super pretty pre-market because it was already fading. The bell rings and it squeezed up to 245 and has been fading since then. So no trades on that. And then SMIT is down here. This is the one that I ended up trading and making 37 on. Great headline announcing a $2 million stock repurchase plan. All right, so shortly after the bell rang, I got in. You can see that we had these 2 little pops. This one right here and this one right here. I got in for the break over 4 and it popped up to a high of 411 and I got out of that with, I don't know, 6 or 7 cents of profit. I took 500 shares. So on that trade, that was, let's see, right here, 500 shares, and I was out at, I guess I got in at 97. That was nice. 97 and then 404 and 405. So, 8 cents per share. Nothing to be crazy excited about, but a small profit. And then we had PTGX. Now, PTGX, I'm red on, as you can see, down $25. And it's kind of disappointing because the stock made this really impressive move this morning. However, the bulk of it was without a pullback. The stock first squeezes from 540 up to 625. It then pulls back and pops up to 643. At this point, I was watching it, but skeptical because the float is 22 million shares. It's a higher float, slightly 23 million, slightly higher float stock, and it's a gap down reversal. So, yesterday it dropped down, and then today it's bouncing off the low, which is a setup that I typically don't like because of the inherent weakness from a stock, having dropped so much the previous day. So I was just not feeling super trusting on it early on, both because of the float and because of the daily chart setup. And so when it popped up to 625, I was like, yeah, I see that, but I don't know. And then here it drops to 590, breaks over 610, and then rips up to 643. So right through here, I started watching it. And I said, okay, guys, at this point, this is what it looks like. We have this topping tail candle at 643. What we need is an ABCD pattern on the 1 minute chart. And that would create most likely a 5 minute resting period. And then I'll buy the first 5 minute candle to make a new high. So I know the high right here is 643. And so I want to let this candle maybe hit 630 and then drop back down to 608. And then when it comes back up to 630, I get in to anticipate the break over 643. What I said I didn't like was the fact that this went from 643 and then all the way back down to $6. That's a 43-cent pullback. That's a pretty serious pullback. That's just not something I'm super crazy about. So, I said, I'm going to leave it alone. And then it breaks 43. And I was like, okay, well, but this 5 minute doji, I don't think I can, I can't trust that. And it goes up to 70, to 80, to 90. To $7. Then we have a doji at the high. And I'm like, okay, finally. Well, you know what? That's great. It broke out. But I stand by the fact that I really couldn't manage risk on it in a safe way. It was the right thing for me to sit on the sidelines. I'm going to wait for the first red candle, first pullback, and then I'll get in. And then it rips up to 748, and I was like, God dang it. 748, stock's halted. All right, so now it's halted at 748. I haven't taken any trades on it. And, I'm reminding myself that, you know what? You couldn't afford the risk on the trade, so you didn't take it. You can't beat yourself up to see it run without you when if you had taken the trade and lost, you would have been upset with yourself. So I followed the rules, and, this is just one of those times where breaking the rules would have rewarded you. So it resumes from the halt. It squeezes up to a high of 813. I'm holding my hands. I'm not taking any trades on it. It then pulls back. We've got a shooting star doji, but it rips up despite that to 820 and then up to 834. It then pulls back right here on the first pullback. We finally get a pullback, and I took my first trade right here from 825 up to a high of 850. On that trade, I made about $35. So I made $35 on a 300 share position. So about 15 cents per share. And I felt okay about taking this trade because I had now waited for the first red candle, the first pullback. So I made 25 bucks or 35 bucks, whatever it was. So I was up 76 on the day. It then consolidates here. It's pulling back, it's dropping. And now finally we're getting a 5-minute setup. All right, so now we're getting this 5-minute setup forming, and I was watching 788 for the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, and I thought a break of 788 will get a rip back to 8. I'll move back up to 815, 820, maybe a double top at 850, best case scenario. I don't really think it's going to rip up to 9, but we'll see what it does. So right here, it dipped down, it popped up to 75, it then pulled back, and I got in right here, anticipating that the break over 75, that this was the beginning of trending back up, because we were going from stair-stepping down to stair-stepping up. So I got in at 72. It hits 84. It then pulls back. And then right here, it pops up to 88. And I was expecting an immediate break of 88 and into the 90s. That didn't happen. I tried to sell. I didn't get filled at like 82. And then I hit the bid and got filled at 51. So I stopped out right here at 51, which is a bummer. It dropped to a low of 35. But it was the right exit because, of course, this has gone lower since then. So, this is sort of the pattern. This was the beginning of a pullback. This was a possible moment where we were going to see a 5-minute bull flag pattern, kind of like this pattern that you see right here, the first 5-minute candle to make a new high, first 1-minute candle. That didn't happen in this case. And so I ended up giving back the 35 I'd made and being down 25 on the stock, which is disappointing. And so what I have to sit with today is a feeling of a little bit of FOMO and a little bit of loss. FOMO that PTGX, ripped up 50% and I sat on my hands waiting. When I finally got a pullback, I lost money on it. So that's frustrating. I feel FOMO and I feel like, man, I should have just jumped on it. That's the feeling. I should have just jumped on it, but it was the right thing to sit on the sidelines. And I feel a little sense of loss because now instead of being up 75 on the day, I'm up only 12 before commissions. But big picture, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. So I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. It's whatever. Being down $15, $18 is fine. So I'll be back at it tomorrow. My next best chance for a really good trade is tomorrow morning. It's not going to be to continue to trade today. If I continue to trade today, I'm just going to churn shares. I'm going to lose more money on commissions. And it's very unlikely I would see a big momentum stock at this point unless something comes out with breaking news. So now on the buying power issue, I reached out to CMEG yesterday because I was like, yesterday I only had $395 in my account, right? Which was a surprise. And what was even a bigger surprise was that I was able to take 200 shares of DRIO at $987 or $988, which was almost $2,000. I know some of you guys are doing the math. You're like, well, wait a second. First of all, you're not supposed to have margin below $500 with CMEG. And if you do, it's only 4 times. So $395 times 4 is only $1,500. How'd you buy almost $2,000 worth of stock? So I emailed them. I said, hey, what is the deal with my buying power? And they said, well, your buying power was actually based on 520 before we did the withdrawal. So it was 520. I said, was it 4 times leverage? They said, yeah, it was 4 times leverage. So I had 4 times leverage on $520 yesterday, despite the fact that, obviously I only had $395 in the account because they'd taken out the platform software fee. So I'm not really sure why that was the case. But in any case, I asked them to credit that back, the 125, because I hadn't used the platform in November, and so they did. So they credited back the 125, plus I had the $58 or so of profit from yesterday. So now I've got about $659.17 in the account right now. So tomorrow I'll probably have about, $645, which, is kind of a bummer, but I should have 4 times leverage on that, which is about $2,500 in buying power. What's interesting is that one of you guys who are in the chat room said that on PTGX, even though you only had a $500 account, you were able to take 5,000 shares. PTGX, look at this thing. So, sorry, you were able to take 500 shares. Did I say 5,000? 500 shares. So what that means is that you were getting 6 times leverage on your 500, because obviously 500 shares, at $6 is $3,000, and 500 times 4 is only 2,000. So I'm not totally clear on what methodology or what system they're using for how to determine how much margin to give. The website says below 500 is no margin, and between 500 and 2,500 is only 4 times. And yet they also say that it varies based on the price of the stock. Stocks between 2 and 4, you only have 2 times margin, or I think 2 times, and stocks 4 and up, you can have up to 6 times margin. So I'm not, they sort of have 2 sets of rules, and it seems like sometimes one is the leader and sometimes the other one is the leader, at least based on what you guys are saying. And I see, Manuel, you're saying sometimes it happens, they give you 6 times margin. So, I don't really know. But in any case, I'll upload my broker statements at the end of the month, as I always do. So those of you guys who want to look at them, whatever, you're welcome to look at them. So today, second day of the small account challenge, a little bit of a setback, down $12.20 before commission, down about 15 after, but obviously not a blowout. As far as red days go, it was bound to happen that I would have one. I'm glad it wasn't on day 1. I'm a little disappointed it's on day 2. I maybe should have just taken my $75 and walked away, but I did go ahead and take that one last trade on PTGX right here, and that in this case ended up not working. And I was up 10 cents a share on it. I was up $30, and I did try to sell half of it when I was up in the $30 range, but I didn't get filled, and then it dropped pretty quickly. So, live to trade another day and survive till you thrive. So I'm just going to kind of grind through today, a little bit of a pullback, but if yesterday was, let's say, 1 step forward for every $10, yesterday was about 15 steps forward, and today is about 2 steps back. I'm okay with that. All right, so that's it for me. It's all about risk management. Kept the risk tight, didn't give in to FOMO, waited for good quality setups, took them, and finished today with about 66% accuracy, green on 2 out of the 3 trades I took. So I'll be back at it first thing tomorrow. Hopefully we see something a little bit stronger, a little more consistent out of the gates, and maybe a better gapper, and can have a quick trade in the first 30 minutes that gives me a little bit of a cushion. And then I can afford to take some of the more aggressive micro pullback trades that today I felt I couldn't justify the risk of taking. All right, you guys, I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Bye, everyone. Hey, have you seen my most popular video on YouTube? It's got over 5 million views. You can check it out right here, and check out one of my other videos on YouTube right here. I hope you guys enjoy, and as always, if you have questions, leave them down below in the comments section. I personally respond to every comment that's posted.